Good afternoon and welcome to the Midday News. Here's what we have in the bulletin. Police urge suspects involved in the killing of 2 policemen to turn themselves in. JPS says more equipment coming as restoration continues. And later in sports, Reggae boys held to a 1-1 draw by Trinidad and Tobago in a crucial World Cup qualifier. Thank you for joining us. I'm Carrie-Ann Simpson. Here are the details. We begin with a TVJ News follow-up. Area 4 Commander ACP Michael Phipps is urging the suspects involved in the killing of 2 policemen to turn themselves in. The incident took place in Waltham Park last evening. Reports are that the deceased, Constable Charles Audley Stewart and Constable Jamari Gordon, were at a car wash car mart when they were fatally shot. The policemen were attached to the Spanish Town Police Station and the Counter-Terrorism and Organized Crime Investigation Branch, respectively.
These persons, Junior Brown, Cordell Insang, otherwise called Squidley, and Macarius Monroe, otherwise called Mackie, to turn themselves in to the police no later than 6 p.m. today.
In the meantime, Deputy Prime Minister and National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang has condemned the murders, calling them an attack on the very foundations of law, order and public safety. He vowed that the full weight of the state will be brought against those responsible. Mr. Chang, that's Dr. Chang, expressed condolences to the families and the JCF, urging anyone with information to come forward. The government is moving to modernize the justice system with a new integrated electronic case management system. The contract signed on Wednesday in partnership with the Rwanda Corporation Initiative, Global Affairs Canada, and UNDP aims to connect the entire justice chain. Justice Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs Delroy Chuck says the system will deliver justice faster and more efficiently.
Digital system is well supported by the government, the executive. Truth of the matter, we need this digitization of the court system. It will assist all of the stakeholders within the court system. As Ms. Uwese from Rwanda has explained, it will make for cases to move quickly, timely, and in a manner that is efficient and benefit the people.
Now, all criminal cases will be filed, processed, and tracked electronically, starting at the police station and ending in the courtroom.
Sometimes the judges are in court and asking, when is the report going to be ready? Only to hear that it has been sitting at the forensic lab for weeks. And if the forensic lab, which I think they're now doing, could just send it to the court, you don't need to ask.
The minister went further.
Through this collaboration, Synergy, Rwanda will assist us to define this integrated electronic case management system and to demonstrate how justice can be better delivered, better managed, and better experienced in Jamaica.
It's no secret that Jamaica's agricultural sector has taken a major blow following Hurricane Melissa, with western farms among the hardest hit. Now the burden falls on the eastern parishes to ramp up production. Alia Bryant has the details.
The St. Thomas Parish Manager for the Rural Agricultural Development Authority, RADA, Erard Stevenson, says eastern parishes, including St. Thomas, have now been tasked to help stabilize supplies.
We have proposed from the parish of St. Thomas we're looking at approximately 425 hectares to about 1,900 farmers. We are pledging our support to them, our tangible support that will be coming from the ministry soon and very soon, to indicate to farmers that, this is the way forward. They are looking to us, so we have to dig deep and make sure we are ready to go. We'll be getting some amount of help in terms of seeds, hopefully fertilizers and pesticides. We're also asking them for land preparation subsidy, so we can prepare farmers' lands for them as quickly as possible to get back into production.
Bay Fire Department.
We're not going to be giving our support, the ministry's support, to people who are going to take it and sit idly by and allow them to go to waste. However, the areas in Yallas, Hearties area, as you know, it's under sand mole, right? Those farms are not affected too badly. The other areas such as Carreras and Abbey and Norris, those are more affected because they were on soil. And some of those soils, eroded and washed away. Sweet peppers, lettuce, cabbage, pak choy, cucumber, we would want to increase those. But at the same time, we are not losing sight of what is already there. We want to ramp up production of those also.
And we do apologize for the technical glitch with that story. In the meantime, speaking at the St. Thomas Municipal Corporation, Assistant Superintendent of the Morant Bay Fire Station, Robert Locke, says the brigade responded to 54 calls in October. He shared the figures for property risks and losses for the parish.
As it relates to the risk and loss during that period, the value of property risk, that was 526,800,000. Estimate value for property loss during that period was 48,500,000. Estimate value of property saved in that period was 254,431,090.
The Jamaica Public Service says more equipment will be coming as it continues to restore electricity across the island. CEO Hugh Grant explained that an aerial tour following the passage of the hurricane revealed that some of its steel infrastructure was badly damaged.
Of Hurricane Melissa, you saw steel lattice structures twisted and underground. This particular line is a line that traverses from our Duncan's substation in Trelawney to our Bogue substation in Montego Bay. And look at our steel lattice structure. So think about this. If this is the devastation on our steel lattice structure, which is one of our most hardened facilities, we can just imagine the devastation on our wood poles and other infrastructure throughout the island.
Mr. Grant says more than 650 line workers are on the ground working to restore power across Jamaica.
Now, it's one thing to have people, but we also need equipment, bucket trucks and other equipment. Frankly, we have exhausted the local resources with bucket trucks and equipment. So what are we doing? We are bringing in additional equipment, and that is expected to arrive here in the island by this weekend, where we are getting in the order of more than 60 bucket trucks and additional pole digging trucks and other equipment necessary to facilitate the safe and timely restoration of supply.
Residents of Old Folly in St. Anne are picking up the pieces after Hurricane Melissa ripped through their communities, leaving homes destroyed and elderly residents in urgent need of help. Antonia Atkinson has the details.
Anita Brown. She's just one of the many elderly residents in Old Folly, St. Anne, whose lives were upended by Hurricane Melissa. As she stands on what remains of her house, she's forced to confront what used to be there before the hurricane took everything. Ms. Brown says her dwelling, which survived Hurricane Beryl last year, didn't stand a chance this time. Beds, clothes, appliances all gone. Speaking with the TVJ News, she shared that she narrowly escaped serious injury when a large tree came crashing down on her home.
Lucky if I be up on the bed lie down, I want man say, when I lie down on the bed, I go to go see the tree them. It's always time I do the tree them. I make get up and sit down on as I do so. And by the time I see me here, borrow both. I had to tree that on the bed, so I lucky if I see that, I know the tree that come off my bed. See, the bed foot pop up. I know it's some tree that come off my bed. Me ball, sir. Me ball. I say, because I did and gone, and maybe I know moon come over, see the tree still the on the bed and it can't come out. Come on.
Another resident told her news team that seeking assistance is now the only option for many families. But despite the devastation, she remains grateful.
They fret one at a time, you know. That's when I fret, and then after a while, I say, sure, what we can do. Better it gone more than 1 hour.
In the meantime, Member of Parliament for North West St. Anne, Crystal Lee, toured the community with a team from the Jamaica Bauxite Institute.
Everybody get a touch. Both those who are, they're lower income, middle income, and higher income earners, wherever you are in this constituency, have been impacted by Hurricane Melissa. And so what we're trying to do is, of course, reach out firstly to our most vulnerable persons, and whatever we can do to give a helping hand, that's what we're doing. Through community spirit, I must say too that a lot of the blockages have been cleared by community persons. Councillor is here to attest to that. And I mean, it made it lighter for government, because by the time government got there to even start to clear, community members were already chopping away.
This is one of 3 communities that we've been in today. We've assessed, and we're putting our emphasis on critical damages. So we know that this is one of the areas that has been really impacted, and this is why we've come into this community today.
Antonia Atkinson, TVJ News.
The over 400,000 strong public transport operators across the island have joined forces, partnering with private sector and other individuals to help with Hurricane Melissa relief supplies. At a recent function in St. Thomas, they launched the Transport Operators Humanitarian Relief Initiative, or TORI for short.
And under this initiative, transport operators will deploy vehicles and logistic teams to deliver critical supplies, assist with evacuations, support distribution centers, and facilitate underground operations as hard to reach areas.
They explained that the move is especially necessary because of the growing needs of those worst affected.
When I drive along and I see even farmlands on either side, and I see cattle, I see cows that have died and are decomposing, it's devastating. The stench alone, I can tell you, it's not bearable.
One of the home I stopped in White House is a whole car. That car must have parked about 15 years. The wife, the husband, and 2 kids. That's what they are living in. There's no tree that hasn't branches. You might find some trees standing, but no branches are on them. This is the condition that the Western persons are living in at this time.
It is time for a break. Stay with us. More stories when we return. Welcome back to the Midday News. The family of 15-year-old Kiana Morrison is seeking the public's assistance to find her. She has been missing since Sunday, November 2. Kiana was last seen at home about 6:38 p.m. wearing a black t-shirt and black pants. She is of dark complexion, slim build, and about 5 feet 10 inches tall. Anyone with information that can help to find Kiana is asked to contact the Halfway Tree Police Station at 876-926-8184-5. That's 876-926-8184-5, or the nearest police station. It is now time for the Business Minute.
Jamaica's largest banana and plantain producer, JP Farms, has reported almost complete destruction of its St. Mary operations following the passage of Hurricane Melissa. Initial assessments show that Hurricane Melissa caused an estimated near 100% loss across the company's banana and plantain farms. Although St. Mary avoided a direct hit, prolonged high winds from Melissa's outer bands flattened crops that were still recovering from Hurricane Beryl. Despite the devastation, Pan Jamaica Group, parent company of JP Farms, has pledged to immediately invest in recovery efforts. This follows a $250 million injection last year to restart production and restore profitability after Beryl's impact. Further afield, the federal government is open again today. That's after the House passed a stopgap funding bill last night and the president signed it shortly after that. The reopening is having real-world impacts on Americans. More services are becoming available again with the return of furloughed federal employees. They're set to get back pay, and some experts predict an economic rebound. For people on Obamacare, the reopening could mean their health insurance costs will more than double. The bill does not guarantee an extension of expiring subsidies. Democrats vow to keep fighting to lower health costs, but the House Speaker says he wants reforms first. It's unclear when flight schedules will return to normal, but SNAP benefits should be available again soon. And that's it for the Business Minute. I'm Prince Moore.
Time now for the top regional and international stories.
In the region, the Antigua and Barbuda government says it has reached an agreement with Guyana to import cheaper fruits, vegetables, and other produce in a move the government says will help ease the cost of living. The agreement follows talks between Prime Minister Gaston Brown and Guyanese President Irfan Ali during the ongoing COP30 conference in Brazil. Cabinet has also approved cuts to the common external tariff on key food items, with officials expecting the first Guyana shipments to lower supermarket prices early next year. And on the international scene, flames consumed most of the facade of the Wenchang Pavilion in East China's province. Local officials said no casualties were reported and the pavilion did not house any cultural relics. It was built in 2009 and modeled after the historic Yongqing Temple. Preliminary investigation found the fire was triggered by a visitor's improper use of incense and candles, according to local officials. And those were the top regional and international stories. I'm Aliyah Bryant.
And we head to a quick break. When we come back, we'll have your Midday Sports Report.